Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to Washoe Nevada. This is the second episode in my new series where we are starting on this lovely new map that ALiEN JiM has given us, where I'm also playing and experimenting with the okay, so we're back in game. We're here on this wonderful lovely new map that ALiEN JiM has given us, and of course I am also using the Realisitic Numbers mod for the first time ever, which really does change and shape the way this game works. Now, there's a couple of things I need to do. First of all, I need to do apparently left out R and Y. And that will apparently publish some stuff to do with crop yields in the old lure. If I do left out RS, that does the fertiliser, or should I say the spraying. So it tells me fertiliser, like cow manure, pig manure, pig slurry, cow slurry, digestate, compost. It gives you all the different rates and stuff like that for that. It tells you all about that and what's good for what and what effect. So you know, all that good stuff on there by the looks of things. So for example, if we're just picking one right off the list, I can't really look at that. It's not very formatted very well in the lure. Fertilising rates by fruit type and fertiliser types. They're the rates that you're supposed to have your fertiliser set to, is it? Field info is left out R and F. So we own 1 hectare of field. The trouble is, if I press the page up and down keys to move me, try and move me console so I can see all that information, it's changing me cowboy hat. Which I don't really want to do. So I can't run it. I might have to disable the cowboy hat to have a look at all this stuff. And then if I press left out RC, that gives you the stuff to do with contracts and stuff. Again, all this stuff is explained in a 67-page PDF guide on the old that comes with the Realisitic Numbers. But basically, the gist of it is, prices are absolutely awful. They are so realistic, the prices are, that honestly, look at corn. $92 for 1,000 litres of corn. Soybeans, you know, you're looking at, it's brutal Realistic Numbers. And it changes the way the animals work as well. The animals, again, they have their breeding and reproducing cycles. It's all very complicated. It's far more complicated than I actually currently know and understand. I know that's a terrible thing to say, using a mod that you haven't really, you don't really know and understand. But it's one of these mods that I think until you start using it, you're not going to know what it does. And really, the only way to really learn it is to put it in and play it and deal with it. So we've got a cedar there. Right, how wide is that cedar out of interest? That's 3 metres. Okay. The trouble is, I'm going to have an overlap on over half a metre with the subsoiler. Otherwise, I was going to try and pull that behind me. Because obviously now we've done the corn harvest on field 9. We're in a position, I'm in the position where I've got to get this subsoiled. And again, because I'm using the starting vehicles that JiM has kindly given us, the starting fleet, I have no guidance steering, I have no GPS mod, So all field work is going to be done more or less by hand. At this point in time, I'm going to have to just rely on the game not screwing me up too badly. Like I say, once I've got this field, you know, ploughed, subsoiled, and then I've got it seeded again, I can go off and explore some of the other things, because it's going to take a long while for whatever crop I put on here to grow. Because again, Realistic Numbers is a bit similar to Seasons, the Seasons mod, in that it delays the growth of crops, and it basically makes it so that one day in game is equal to 1 month, if that's the way you do it. So you have to play through 12 game days to basically go through a year, or the equivalent of a year. And that doesn't, so that applies to obviously crops, because crops grow at different rates, so they're going to grow at different points during those 12 days. Some crops are going to take the 12 days to grow before you can harvest them. Some will grow after 6 days, some will grow a little bit sooner, some will grow, you know. The real thing that 12-day cycle really does have an effect on is the animals. Like I say, their reproduction rates, their production rates are going to be affected by that yearly cycle, because animals in the Realistic Number mod apparently age. We have young animals, we have middle-aged animals, and we have old animals, apparently. And there's ways to configure and set it all up, but it does mean playing with Lua scripts, and I'll be honest, I'm not a Lua scripting person. I have no Lua knowledge. So to be able to really configure the mod, I'm just using the mod straight out the mod folder. I haven't gone in, tweaked anything, changed anything, but apparently there are things that you can tweak and adjust in those scripts if you want, or if you find something that seems to be a mistake in the mod. Again, it would be hard for me to say what is a mistake and what isn't, because I'm not American. So I have no idea what, you know, American farming economy is like and all that business, and whether crop prices are correct or not for America. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't even know what UK crop prices are and stuff like that. I'm not a farmer. I'm in no way connected to the agricultural industry in real life. The closest I ever come to being connected to the agricultural industry was about 20 years ago when I left school. I got an engineering apprenticeship with a company that makes all the hydraulic control valves for these types of vehicles. You know, for AGCO, Massey Ferguson, Caterpillar, JCB, Volvo, Komatsu, loads of all these different companies that make agricultural equipment, earth moving equipment, all that stuff. All the hydraulic control valves on them that control like the rear linkages, the front linkages, anything like that. We made them. So that's the closest I ever got to being in the agricultural industry. Having a JCB at the factory that we use for development, for testing out valves and stuff on when we was developing new valves, new control valves. Playing around with that in my lunch breaks and stuff, digging great big holes all around the factory, and then going back to work and leaving someone else to have to fill them all in. That was the good old days. As I say, 20 odd years ago that was. And then unfortunately I left the engineering business because obviously the massive downturn in engineering and the general economy here in the UK meant that I didn't really see much of a future in it. And that was about 2 years after I'd finished my apprenticeship. So I did an apprenticeship for 5 years. I then did 2 years after that with the company, and then I was like, this isn't going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. I'm getting out. So I changed my vocation in life at that point. I went off and did golf then. Got into the old leisure and tourism industry and got involved in golf at a local course near me. And then I got to play around with tractors and stuff, obviously on the course, because it was a small course. Everybody had to be able to pitch in and do stuff. I wasn't just in the like the pro shop and driving range all day selling equipment and taking green fees and signing up members. Some days when it was busy, and during the summer when it was, you know, the weather's nice and everything's growing really fast, I had to go out and do some bits and pieces on the course to help, because we only had one greenkeeper for the whole course. We had one guy who did all the course work, greenkeeping and that. So in the summer months I would often go out in the days and help out and do different bits and bobs out there. So I would often jump in tractors and go out and mow fairways, mow tees. We'd often go out and cut hedges, because obviously hedges would grow quite wild in the summer, so we'd go and cut and trim back a lot of the hedges around some of the greens and some of the tees and stuff like that, just to, you know, make things a bit safer for the golfers and improve visibility and stuff. So I got to play around with a few different tractors and that, but that was mostly Kubotas. We mostly had Kubotas on our farm, on our course, because the guy who owned the golf course, his eldest son owned a company that specialises in turf, sports turf and stuff. So he has a whole load of machinery for growing and maintaining turf and installing turf at, you know, sports stadiums and, you know, parks and schools and all sorts of stuff, as well as obviously for people who, you know, want their lawns and that doing. So I was able to, so we had access to some quite nice equipment, as well as obviously the standard sort of mowers and stuff that you would find on a golf course for doing like the greens, fairways, rough and stuff like that with. Just before I left there, we got a John Deere Gator. That was nice addition, because we used that for collecting up the range balls. So we got a John Deere Gator, and then onto that we fabricated and built like a metal cage to obviously protect the person driving it whilst they're picking up the balls. And then in the actual bed on the back, I built a thing like a box to go on the back, so that we could put keep all the balls in it. So we'd basically, when the baskets on the front of the collector got full, we could just tip them in the back of the Gator. And basically our driving range used to hold about 10,000 balls. When we went out, we used to go out and pick up balls every Monday and Friday, and you'd have about 10,000 balls, or maybe a few more, a few less each time you picked up. So we used to bring those back in the Gator. We basically had a link on the front of the Gator, which we fastened to the actual collecting machine, with like a bar, just, you know, through the frame. And then we used to just basically push that round, picking up the balls. And then once, let's say, the baskets got full on the collector, we'd tip them in the back of the Gator. And then once the balls had all been picked up and the Gator was full, we'd unhook the collector, drive the Gator back up to the workshop, which also had the driving range and pro shop attached to it. And basically just inside the workshop door, as you went in, there was an elevator which we could tip the balls into. The balls would go up the elevator, and then they'd drop down into a machine that washed them, so all the range balls got washed. Then they'd go through into another elevator. They'd come out the washer, go into another elevator, and that elevator would go up and drop the balls into a pipe, which ran the full length of the workshop wall inside, and the full length of the driving range, and it would then basically empty out into both of the ball dispensers. It was a great setup. It was all custom built by the guy who owns the golf course. It was design. He designed it, laid it all out and everything, and then had a company come and put it all together. We had one elevator made completely fabricated from scratch, which was awesome. We bought the washer and the other elevator, the elevator that dropped them into the pipe. The pipe that run down the fault was just basically normal drain pipe. It was just basically solid pipe. We just cut a slot in the top for the balls to go into. And then at the bottom end, above the two ball machines, we just cut 2 slots in there. And then we fastened another half piece of paint, drain pipe with some just some like cable, some wire that we could slide across the 2 slots, so we could block off a slot to fill one ball machine, and then once that machine was full, we'd slide the slot over and we'd fill up the next one. That's how we got the balls then equally sort of dropped into both machines. The only downside to that, and a couple of times when I was doing it, sometimes the balls would get stuck and you'd get a bit of a blockage. So if you was doing it on your own, you was washing the balls on your own, you would have to keep running all the way down the workshop, all the way down the range, check the machines to make sure they weren't blocked up. Because if you got a blockage in the pipe, basically it would back up all the way up the drain pipe, all the way up the pipe, all the way along the workshop. And eventually, instead of the balls going out of the elevator into the pipe, they'd start coming back the other way. You'd start getting a backwash and you'd end up with balls everywhere. And you never wanted that to happen, because if that happened, what you had to do then, based on how long it was blocked for and how long it was sort of backflowing, you might have had to unscrew one of the wooden panels on the inside of the shed wall, between the outer wall and the, obviously, like the building's frame, to be able to retrieve all the balls that have fallen in to the space between the outer shed wall and the wooden panel, the inner wall. And that was never fun. If you got caught doing that, the boss would go ballistic. If the boss caught you taking the panel off the wall to get to the balls, to retrieve the balls, he knew exactly what you'd done. He knew you'd blocked the machine up and hadn't kept your eye on it, and he would give you a telling off. He would. And the greatest thing about that boss, and he's the best boss I've ever had, he never swore. He wasn't one of these guys that curses. He would always say other words. So, for example, instead of the usual F word, he would always say flip. So it was so funny when he's telling you off, because he's using these non-swear words. But, it was just weird. And I did that for like 7 years. I think, nearly 7 years, that job. And then unfortunately again, UK, economic recession, downturn in people doing leisure and having the money to be able to do leisure activities and hobbies and stuff like that, meant that unfortunately the course started to receive less traffic. And if the course is receiving less traffic, it's making less money. If it's making less money, it can't afford to, do things. It has to make cutbacks. Unfortunately, that usually means cutting back on personnel. And in that situation, I was the only person on the books that wasn't an actual family member. I wasn't a relative of anyone. Everyone else that worked at the course was related. Husband and wife owned it. Son was a professional golfer too, and golf pro, so he was like the teaching pro, the coach at the course. Daughter-in-law ran the clubhouse and the bar and everything. So when it came time to make someone redundant and lay someone off, unfortunately it was going to be me, wasn't it? Because I wasn't family. And then after that, I've just done, rubbish work really since after I left there. after I left the golf club, I spent 6 months just basically having a bit of a break from work, because I've worked solidly since I left school. So I spent 6 months basically just having the first holiday in about 14 years. And then I went to work for a electronics retailer, a company in my town. They were just in the process of closing a store in the town, building a new one on a new site, so that was the perfect time to jump in on them, help them build and set up the new store, and then obviously once the store opened, work for them. I did that for 4 years, I think it was 4 years, 5 years, and then eventually I left there to go and work for a company as a IT technical support person. I was going to do IT tech support. I've been there 10 months when unfortunately I suffered the car accident that has unfortunately left me with physical disabilities that prevent me at this point in time from holding down regular and, you know, traditional employment. So unfortunately, since my accident in 2016, I've not actually worked for anyone else or held down a job for very long. So now my days are spent playing farming sim. I come on here every day and I drive up and down these imaginary virtual tractors with these virtual farmers like Arthur Sandcastle here doing these jobs. Hopefully, like I say, this will be subsoiled. It's only taken me 20 minutes. Hopefully that means I've got the seeder to go. Now, I was having to think about how we're going to make money on this map last night. And again, with it being an ALiEN JiM map, I think one of the best ways to make money, right off the bat, is maybe fuel. Doing some fuel. And I'd like to make my own fuel, which means using the Washoe diesel production, which has just been updated. That mod has just been updated. That was updated yesterday as well. And that mod now means we can put both canola or sunflower into it to make fuel and pig food. We get a lot of fuel and a little bit of pig food from the process. So basically what I'm thinking of doing is, once I've got one of them Washoe buildings, which is the only slight drawback, because obviously it's going to cost me 125 grand plus whatever construction costs are, you know, associated with basically putting a Washoe building on the map. I can then be basically planting canola and sunflowers to put in it to produce the fuel we can sell and produce the pig food. Because I'm just going to guess, based on what I've seen of Realisitic Numbers so far, canola and sunflowers probably don't make a lot if you're selling them in raw crop form. Whereas I imagine if I convert them to fuel and pig food, that probably sells for more money. I'm guessing. It's something we can test. We can, like I say, we're going to be in the business of experimenting on this, because I've not used this mod yet. I know a lot of people are waiting for seasons, and most people are more common with seasons and more aware of seasons, but until seasons comes out, this is probably the next best thing. And it's already been, as I say, the mod author's already gone to the trouble of setting it up in 3 different flavours depending on the geographical location of whichever map you're playing on. So if you're playing on a US map, there is a US Realisitic Numbers. If you're playing on a UK map, there's a UK Realisitic Numbers. And if you're playing on a European map, then there is a European Realisitic Numbers. And he spent loads of time doing the research to calculate, to get all the information. And like I say, if you read the PDF, it explains everything. Right, so we need some... We're going to need some seed. And we're going to need some fertiliser. Great, I've got 51 seeds. That's not going to get me very far, is it? This is lime. I think, is this the... That's herbicide. Fertilisers around the back here. Yeah, that's not going to cut the bill, is it? We're not going to get very far with 51 litres of fertiliser or 51 litres of seed. Let me have a quick think about this. The best way to do it. I don't want to get a full trailer load of seed and stuff, because I don't think this holds much. 5,000 litres, which is going to be broken down into what? Hard to say. 5,000 litres, right. In that case, what we'll do... Leave that seeder there for a minute. I'll leave that there. What's the... See, I've never used it, really. I normally always sell them off because they're good money to sell. What's the capacity of a pickup truck? Train, the back. And where can I go and buy seed from, do you reckon? Who's going to sell seed? There's all my animals. I'm going to try the shop first. I'll try down at the shop first. And then if not, I'll go down and try at the livestock market area. But I'm certainly not seeing anything else that would suggest to me they sell seed anywhere. So we'll have a ride. I don't normally, as I say, I don't normally use the pickup truck in game. They're normally the first thing that gets sold. But you never know, on this map we may end up using it to transport some stuff. I'm going to need quite a bit of stuff. So let me guess. Does it only sell the Yeah, I'm not seeing any kind of line buildings or... I'll have a quick look across the road. I'll have a quick nip across the road and see what's going on over here. We've got the fuel station over here and something else. The spinnery. So, I'll go and have a look at them. I'm pretty sure these won't sell. So... Tankers only. Fuel buy point. Okay. So that's where you buy your fuel from. Don't know where we sell it. And that to me looks just like the spinnery for selling your wool and your cotton. Huh, okay then. Spare easy shed there. Oh, is this a buy point? Something. There's pallets of stuff. There's pallets of stuff out the front. Is it a buy point? Or is it just a sell point? I think it's just a sell point. So where can I get seed and fertiliser from? I don't want to have to put a placeable down. I don't really want to use a placeable. In fact, I don't think I've got any installed. I'll double quickly triple check, but I don't think I've got any placeables. Placeable fill points, that is. No, I haven't. Nothing that I can buy from in game. Ha! And unfortunately, it doesn't look like on this map it's the usual ALiEN JiM map where you can go inside and talk to the nice lady who stands at the counter all day, or the night shift bloke that comes in and mans it at night time. There isn't even like a workshop with a bloke with a spanner who maintains your vehicles. I know when I started the map yesterday I was all keen and excited about the whole new ALiEN JiM map thing, but having played Mercury Farms, this map does lack some of JiM's usual personal touches, some of the little finer touches that just give it that little bit of extra character and personality. Like, as I say, the people who work at the stock shop, and the characters that turn up during the day and at night, and like I say, the bloke who works in the workshop. The fact that it doesn't actually have a workshop, it's just got a normal sort of trigger, customise and sell your vehicles thing. It doesn't actually have like a workshop with like a ramp and all that detail and jazz. It's a little bit disappointing, really. I kind of expect a little bit more from ALiEN JiM. Anyway, we are probably then going to have to buy. So again, real numbers is factoring in here. Seed, $377. I will buy 5. I will buy. I can't remember how many bought of each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hopefully this truck can pick up all of that. Oh, what? What? I can't fill the back. You can't. I can't just fill it loose into the tip it loose into the back of the. Am I getting confused? Do I need a John Deere? Or do I need one of these? I need a car like this, don't I, really? I could transport seeds with. I could transport 8,000 seeds with one of these at a time. Fertiliser I can do 8,000. The trouble is I need 2 trucks. That's not going to help me. And that's 44 grand. Where's my truck? There. What I could do, I suppose, I can just pick these up and put them in the back. I'm only going to get 2 at a time though, aren't I? That's not really... Ooh. Ooh. Right, we'll take them back to the farm. Can I come from down this way? Not familiar with the map yet. Right, so this is my farm. Right, okay, got it. Got it. Right, seed has to go somewhere. Where did we say seed was? Fertilisers, that building. Seed was back over this way somewhere, wasn't it? Now, if I chuck the pallets in... Get the straps off. Ah, the good thing is... Oh, steady on. They do automatically empty. Good. I would like to see... I know this sounds a bit crazy. Right. You know these other... I would love to... I might have to have a... I would love... You know these like production buildings and stuff? Certainly the ones for liquid fertiliser and seed. I would love it if they... If you had pallets of those... You could unload pallets into those. Because one of the things I'm finding currently on a server that I'm playing on, the Don Diego server, is when we're switching between, say, like liquid fertiliser and herbicide in a sprayer, you can't unload a sprayer at sell points. When you unload a sprayer, it unloads it into pallets, and most of the the placeable refill points and silos don't take pallets, so you've got to go around then empty the pallets into like a normal trailer or tanker, and then you've got to go and then you've got to put them... Hey! Have I glitched that now? I can't pick that up. I've broke it. I broke the game. I've glitched that into the ground, haven't I? One pallet. Somebody will say, why didn't you just bring the trailer down? And you could have emptied all these into the trailer. And I'll be like, yeah, I could have done. But that would have taken like 5 seconds, and I'm trying to make an episode out of this. Right. Follow this car. I might have a quick look at how much this... whoa dear. Arthur's had a bit of a whoopsie daisy. Gotta love a pickup that can self-right itself. I forgot to even check how much is in these bags of seed, you know. 1,000 litres. Okay. Just the standard vanilla in-game, obviously, seed. I'm not using any other mods that add extra capacity bags, big bags and stuff like that. This is all pure vanilla. As I say, it's a minimal mod series. I've got minimal mods installed apart from, you know, the essentials. The absolute essential mod list. Could do with making the trigger just a little bit higher maybe, so you could actually unload these without having to take them out the back of the truck. Right, let me go down, because you see, if I can transport the fertiliser, if I can get one of the trucks with the thing in the back, because obviously we can't just fill this then, we would have to fill it with like a, it doesn't tip, does it? The truck doesn't tip. The Gator does. A Gator or a Mahindra would. But I'm not sure if they're going to be very useful. So let's go and see what the store will give me for Arthur's broken, beat up, has seen better days pickup truck. We can always buy another one if need be. 41,380. Sell. I'm pretty sure that was better pricing. Because I'm wondering if I got like a Gator, have we got any like little modded trailers that it can pull along behind it? Or are they all like big trailers? They all look like big trailers to me. That's a big trailer. The Gator won't pull that, and I don't really want anything that big. I could probably get by with one of them. Maybe one of them on the back of a Gator. Would that work? I'm going to try leasing it. Oh, because again, money's so tight. I don't want to buy something and it not be right. They hold 460 litres internally anyway. Probably. That's not going to go on there, is it? That looks quite comical to me. I'm trying to get this thing anywhere in position where I can empty these pallets is going to be quite fun. Let's see if this thing will get back to the farm with this on the back of it. Oh my lord. Doesn't even come with any covers. put my beacon on. At least I'll be able to get started on seeding a field. I am going to have to think long and hard about how we transport seed and fertiliser and stuff in bulk back to the farm. Ain't going to work, is it, really, long term? Plus it only holds 4,000 litres. Right, something else as well I didn't realise, and I'm just thinking of it now actually. How do we lease a field or rent a field? You're supposed to be able to rent fields with realistic numbers, or at least that's supposed to be one of the things possible with the mod. Again, it's something I'm really gonna have to read the PDF and really study it to work out how it all works. But apparently you can rent fields rather than buy them. I don't know, and I don't know quite where we go within the interface to rent fields. Because we've only got the one field. And I think really to be productive I'm going to need more fields, but I'm not borrowing, I'm not taking out bank loans to buy fields, because you'll never ever get the money back. Whereas if I could rent a field and get the crops off it, as soon as I'm finished I can then stop renting it. And I could rent fields based, I could pick a size based on what crop it is I really want. So thanks for letting me lease that, but that's not a winner for me. That doesn't work. I need a truck. It's no good. I'm gonna have to buy a truck. I'm gonna have to buy that truck back. No. Nice chrome wheels. Put some beacons on. We were going to do seeds, weren't we? Right, I might as well buy all the options. The reason being, I can then bring it back to the workshop anytime, and I'll be able to swap it over, won't I? Depending on what it is I need to transport. Doesn't cost me anything to change. That's excellent. That's great news then. So I can, every time I come to the shop to collect something, I can make sure I've got the right bit on the back. So if I drive up to this now, right. This is what I'm going to do. So I've got 1,000 litres of seed. I need another 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Make sure, if I'm going to buy seed, I might as well buy a lot of seed. I just hope I can unload this when I get back to the farm. If I can, without any issues, without any side effects. Of course, I forget this truck has its own built-in workshop, doesn't it? Perfect. Back to the farm we go. Oh, this truck runs like a dream. They think this truck looks far more useful like this than the vanilla in-game one that you can't do out really with. The great thing is I can just unload the seeds, look. Oh, I haven't got to faff about with the pallets. Quality of life improvement 1. That's the first great quality of life improvement on the series. Sell the starting pickup truck, get one of these. Get yourself one of these trucks instead. You won't regret it, people. So let's see, if I go down to the store with this bad boy now and change it over to fertiliser, can I bring it back to the store? Or does it not workshop itself? Or does it only workshop other vehicles? I think it's possible then that it only does. Right, so I can service vehicles parked next to me, but I can't service, I can't change this vehicle on the fly. I have to come down here to a workshop. Which is not an issue for me, because I can do that. Woohoo! And then we've got some fertiliser in the back, bags in the back. Nearly ran that lady over. We won't worry about her. Right, I'm going to take 7 more bags of fertiliser while I'm here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Might as well take a full truckload back with me. Spare no expense. This is my truck, isn't it? Yeah. Thought it was. At least now we'll be able to do the seeding in the next episode. Get the field seeded, and then we can have a look at doing a few more bits and bobs then. Put the old bacons back on for Arthur Sandcastle. Press the wrong button there for indicators. So fertiliser is this building right here. There we go. We'll be able to get some lime as well from. There's an actual place on the map we can get lime. We don't have to buy that. We can get all the lime we could ever dream of. Right. So now, whey, come back, tractor. Still got that lift heavy things mod installed. I will probably drop that out for the next session, next video. So how much fertiliser is this used? 3,000 litres. Okay. That's how much seed. How much fertiliser? About 3,000 litres, I'm guessing. Like for 1-to-1 ratio, maybe. Maybe only 2,000. Right, okay. Okay, well then we're going to need to look at crops then, aren't we? What crop are we going to put on this field? Barley, oats, canola, soybeans, oilseed radish, grass. We don't have a lot of options, unfortunately, for Arthur Sandcastle. We've run out of time for this episode. I've been cwattyeso. Thank you for watching the video. If you've enjoyed it, please go ahead and make sure you click that like button. If you're not already doing so, please also hit that subscribe button. That way, you'll get to stay informed and up to date with any new content I post to the channel. Also, please feel free to leave your questions, comments, suggestions, feedback, anything relating to what you've seen in this video. Please post it in your comment section below. Like I say, if you've got any experience with realistic numbers or anything like that, I would love to hear from you guys telling me all about it. And that's about it, really. Share the video wherever you see fit, with whomever you see fit, and I'll see you again very soon for another episode. Goodbye for now.